Drivers, start your engines!
It's MRN Motorsports Monday, the place for the latest news and loudest opinions, direct from the guys at the track. Presented by Outback Steakhouse. The stories, views, and opinions expressed on MRN Motorsports Monday are not likely shared by anyone, anywhere. Results may vary, so you should talk to your doctor before watching.
What's up, Doc?
Today's episode is brought to you by Hercules Tire.
Pace car is on.
Here's Woody Kane.
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you guys!
I knew you'd come back, Woody.
And Joey Meyer.
Just a reminder, if you're asking me a question on the radio, just keep talking till I answer it for you, all right?
MRN Motorsports Monday presented by Outback Steakhouse after the triple weekend, week and weekday at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch sweeps for the second time. Nobody had done it once. Now he's done it twice. A phenomenal performance for him and good racing pretty much throughout the three races we saw at Bristol.
You know, I know we're going to hear some complaints because anytime you have those Truck Series and Xfinity Series drivers come over to the Cup Series,
Just mess it up.
And mess it all up for those guys.
Yeah.
It's bad, but an amazing weekend. You know, I talked about it on Wednesday and even after Friday and got a lot of feedback. Not really on my side, but to be able to watch Kyle Busch do what he did in the Truck Series race on Wednesday and the Xfinity race on Friday was very impressive. But then to be able to participate in the race on Saturday, we had an issue at lap 2 and got 4 laps down very early on. But he had a speeding penalty or a pit road bad pit stop later on and was still able to drive through a good chunk of the field to be able to cap off his third win. And the only thing that kept him from perfection, I saw him at the airport, he didn't get the pole for the Cup race because that would have been the pole truck race, pole Xfinity race, and he had really good speed in that first round. And those guys missed the setup for that second round and finished, he qualified 18th, next to us was 17th. But what an amazing weekend for those guys. They're on a roll. It's amazing to think about how good he's been doing. He's only got 2 wins.
Yeah.
And that shows
on the season. And
exactly
they've had speed all year, and we talked with them about that as well.
So their problems have been execution. He's wanted to execute Brad. So the whole execution thing.
There you go. I get you. I'm with you.
But those guys are going to be really strong. With 2 races to go, we've got 3 drivers perilously hanging on the edge trying to crawl their way into the playoffs, and it's going to be interesting to see.
We spoke with Kyle Busch after he won on Saturday night. Here's what that sounded like.
Well, Kyle, after the frustration of the early part of the year, does it feel like you guys are getting hot, peaking at the right time?
I guess so, a little bit. You know, I would certainly like to have this continue on. You know, there's still 12 races or 13 races, whatever it is, till Homestead. So, you know, you can't be peaking too early. That's a long ways away. That's still 3-4 months away. So it's definitely not a bad thing, though, right now to be having this speed. But we've had this speed all year long. About 20 to go, I was like, man, these things need to click off a lot quicker because Eric Jones is on his way here, you know. So I didn't want to have to erase Eric there at the end. But he drove a fantastic race, and he looked just like me in the old days, being able to roll the bottom here. He just looked so good. So I'm really proud of him. And yeah, it just wasn't as grippy as I would have expected it to. It was for the beginning part of the run, then it kind of went to the top. And then once everybody burned the top in, then it was bottom or top, you know, wherever your car was working the best, wherever you wanted to be. And the bottom was the best place to be if you could just have your car working down there, and that's what Jones was proving to all of us.
There you go. Eric Jones did win the pole, led a good chunk of that race, 260 laps of the 500, and darn near got the win. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but had Eric Jones been able to win and provide a new winner, that would have upset the apple cart a little bit for some of the guys trying to get in on points.
You know, if you're running a season where 24 races in and you're sitting 7th, 8th, and 9th in the points up to 24 races, you're like, man, I'm in a good shape. But you're not. You got Jimmy McMurray, Matt Kenseth, and Chase Elliott, again, perilously hanging off the edge. If Eric Jones gets in, that only leaves those 3 drivers for 1 more or 2 more spots available.
They needed a guy who had already won to win again.
And they got that with Kyle Busch for sure. But one of the things I think is being overlooked is our PJ1 VHT juice goop steroid whatever version 2.0 experiment. It was wildly successful at Bristol this weekend because they did it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
They didn't just spray it down like we did the first time.
Yeah.
They tire dragoned it. They PJ1'd it, and then that's it. And they tire dragoned it again. So they really have been the evolution of the application of this PJ1 was seen at Bristol. And just like Kyle Busch said, the bottom wasn't great, the top wasn't great. The track was able to change back and forth. And what Eric Jones had that nobody else did was speed on the bottom all day long. His Achilles heel was not being able to get around traffic like Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch got around traffic, was able to pull out front, and that's how he led the race and won.
As we said, Eric Jones came home second, Denny Hamlin third, Matt Kenseth fourth. Kurt Busch rounds out the top 5. Kevin Harvick, by the way, we got a picture of him right after his race. There you see him.
There he is.
He finished 8th, and that means you get a free Bloomin' Onion. It's Bloomin' Monday at Outback because Kevin Harvick got the top 10 finish. Go by and tell him you heard it on Motorsports Monday and get that free Bloomin' Onion. We've got a lot to get to on today's program. Matt Tifft is going to join us. Cup Series is off this coming weekend, as are the trucks, but the Xfinity Series has their final of 3 road races this season. They're going to Road America, a 4+ mile track. We'll talk about that. On track, off track is coming up. We've got our new Ask Joey segment where you can ask Joey whatever you want, within reason, of course, but he'll answer that question as well. It's all ahead on MRN Motorsports Monday. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So cold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Where will you be when NASCAR comes to Chicago's fastest loop? 4 days of racing, tailgating, camping, and music come to Chicagoland Speedway September 14th through the 17th. Tickets for Sunday Chicagoland 400 are available now. Camping spots are available and selling fast. All kids tickets $25 off adult price and free on certain race days. Get your tickets and campsite now at ChicagolandSpeedway.com. Chicagoland Speedway, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series playoffs start here.
I'm Bubba Wallace, and you're listening to MRN Motorsports Monday with Joey Meyer and Woody Kane.
Good to hear from Bubba. He was one of the guys who wound up with a cucumber this year.
He got one of those cucumbered wins at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it was a dramatic finish to see them do that.
He's a vegetarian now.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, it worked out well for him. By the way, wanted to mention that at Outback they've got for a limited time center cut sirloin with a steamed lobster tail starting at just $15.99. Also great lunch specials. Go by and see them, and it's Bloomin' Monday. Make sure you get your free stuff. My grandfather used to always say you don't get anywhere in this life turning down free stuff.
It's like free throws at basketball. They're free.
Right.
You just got to make
them. You just stand there and make them.
Exactly.
Right. You got to do
They're
it.
free. Go get one.
Yeah. Let's talk a little on-track, off-track. This is the portion of the show where we discuss some things in the world of racing that are going well and some others that aren't going quite so well.
You know, today is an event that hasn't happened in a number of years, is a solar eclipse, right? So in that theme, I think our on-track is something that doesn't happen in the time of a solar eclipse. You and I are going to agree.
Wait, what?
Yep, it's solar eclipse. So get your glasses.
Dogs and cats are living together. The heavens are colliding.
Do you have your solar eclipse glasses on?
They're out there somewhere,
All
yes.
right, so you and I are going to agree 100% that, and again, we kind of introduced it in this last segment, the VH1, PH1, the VHT, the juice, the goop.
The sticky stuff.
The sticky stuff is really, really good idea. You heard me. You'll have to go back and listen.
All right,
if you
I got you. Okay.
It's really working, and we see how NASCAR is evolving the process, and now we understand from Steve O'Donnell they're going to probably use it at more tracks as we move on. It's not a perfect solution, but it is an option for most tracks that we've seen, and Bristol really exemplified that option for the PH1, VHT.
Whichever it is. It's different substances. Some of them are branded, some of them are not, but whatever the substance is, it worked. And I think for me, the key to it was that they didn't just spray it down like last year on Wednesday and then kind of reapply it one time and they were good. They actually went back and scraped it up between races and put it back down again based on what they had seen and what they had learned. And by the time we got to Saturday, you know, earlier for the truck race on Wednesday and the Xfinity race on Friday, it was very wide. It was a whole car width wide on the track where all 4 wheels were in that sticky substance. For Saturday night's race, they narrowed it down where only the left wheels were getting in it if you were on the bottom, and most of the drivers said they felt like that made a big difference. So kudos to NASCAR for doing that, to stay on top of it and not just spray it down and leave it at that.
Don't stare directly into the sun.
don't stare directly into the sticky stuff either. I heard that can be dangerous as well. All right, what's not going quite so well?
You know, we're 24 races in. We've had several large retirements with Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart over the past year. This year, in case you didn't hear it, they've kept it kind of quiet. Dale Jr.'s retiring.
What?
Yep. And unfortunately, with 2 races left, he's going to have to win either Darlington or Richmond to make his way in. The points is he's just inside the top 25. But one of the things that the fans have not seen this year that we've come to expect from Dale Jr. is his performance at a high level. They're just not getting on the same page with him and Greg Ives. But it's not just them. If we go back and look, yes, Casey Kane's won Indy and Jimmy Johnson's won 3, but Chase Elliott's right there just grasping, trying to get that first win. We've seen Dale Jr. just really struggle. They just can't get on the same page. And it's nobody's fault. And it's not like you can point a finger, and Dale Jr. has been very complimentary of Greg Ives, and Greg Ives of Dale Jr.
Very protective of him as fans try to bash him.
Because it's easy to do. But you can see it's just taking this much to be either really good or in this case really bad. And right now Dale Jr. is this far of being really bad, and all he needs is this much. He does go to 2 tracks that he enjoys with Darlington and Richmond. There's still that glimmer of hope that if he gets a victory, he can move on and be in that championship playoff.
Absolutely. Talladega he'll be very good at as well, but that's already in the playoffs, and so that wouldn't help put him in. That raises a question I wanted to ask is, a lot of guys were talking about trouble with the left front, and to me that's kind of counterintuitive. You think the car's leaning to the right as you go through the turns, so most of the pressure will be on the right side, and in particular the right front. Why were guys struggling with the left front?
Well, in a car like a track like Bristol, whenever you put pressure on the right front, we have to remember that mechanically it's connected all the way over to via a sway bar to the left front tire. So when you mechanically connect and you push down the harder, you're actually physically pushing down on the left front as well. And that really puts a lot of grip. And plus we have that grip strip, the juice, the goop, that left front tire is running through. We saw tires wear out in the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, as well as the Cup car. That left front tire is really working hard because of the mechanical asymmetry between you pushing down on the right front tire, that being mechanically linked via a sway bar, and it pushing pressure down on the left front as well.
All right, off track for me is going to be Kyle Busch, and a lot of fans continue to be outraged when he wins in the lower series. He swept the weekend again. Nobody had done that before. Now he's done it twice. His 40th career win, I believe, in the Cup side. And I get that people don't want him coming down into the lower series, but often that outrage doesn't translate to when guys like, say, for example, a Kyle Larson does it or Dale Jr. does it. The people are happy when those guys go to the lower divisions and win. But with Kyle Busch, you may not like him. You don't have to like him. And he certainly plays it up. After he swept and won on Saturday night, he was giving the crowd this and playing it up and encouraging the boos and getting the broom on top of the car. But the thing you have to remember is, love him or not, he's one of the best wheelmen we've ever seen, and he's going to head into the Hall of Fame for sure. You have to admire the talent. You may not like him, but you have to admire and acknowledge, if you're intellectually honest, acknowledge the talent.
Yeah, I think we've seen 7 championships with Jimmy Johnson. He gets booed. Jeff Gordon, 4 championships. He got booed. Patrons, the audience goes through this transition because it's not their guy. Okay, 10 years, 15 years from now, Kyle Busch is going to be a lot larger portions guy, and they're going to appreciate his efforts. Wherever he goes, whatever series he runs in, he runs at the top. And it's not because he has illegal equipment and Toyota's cheating. Okay, I get the fact that Toyota's not as most accepted as the big 3 companies were for a number of years. Kyle Busch, I clearly watch and see what he does, and it's not just a car going around the track. Right. It's the way he's driving it as well.
Absolutely it is. All right, another time out here on MRN Motorsports Monday. We're going to talk road racing. The Xfinity Series heads to Road America this weekend. Matt Tifft joins us on the other side of the break.
It's almost Busch o'clock. A time for relaxing and unwinding with a crisp, cold Busch beer. It's the most refreshing time of the day. Wait for it. 3, 2, 1. Busch. Crisp, cold Busch. Enjoy responsibly. Busch Beer. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready. all about Outback Steakhouse. Blooming great!
Hey, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr., and I know the importance of communication. So when it came to selecting equipment for my team, I chose Racing Electronics.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. will win!
Oh, yeah! And so should you. With Racing Electronics, you can listen to all the raw, unfiltered, heat-of-the-moment communication between drivers and their crews.
I love you, man.
Enhancing your experience.
Unbelievable!
And putting you right in the middle of the action. Go to racingelectronics.com to rent a scanner or FanVision, or see Racing Electronics and FanVision trackside at every NASCAR race.
I'm Matt Kenseth, and you're listening to MRN Motorsports Monday with Joey Meyer and Woody Kane.
Welcome back to MRN Motorsports Monday. Heading to go road racing again. The third time the Xfinity Series in the last 4 races will be on a road course. This time it's the 4+ mile road course at Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And joining us on the guest line, a guy who had a strong run the last time we went road racing at Mid-Ohio, Matt Tifft, driver of the number 19 Toyotas at Joe Gibbs Racing. Matt, welcome to the program.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good, man, but not quite as good as you. You had a really good road race the last time we went. We had Bristol in between, but going back to Road America this time, this is a situation where we don't see the old school ringers come in anymore. All the guys who are competing for a championship have gotten very, very good at road racing. Does it feel like there's a lot more competitive guys running road races now?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you when you're coming up through the ranks of the series and stuff, one of the big things that I've always seen guys do and was a part of too was doing some sort of road course training. You're going to be doing it at some point, and obviously we do the oval stuff so much, and a lot is handling dependent on that side, and obviously you can make a difference there too. But the one cool thing about the road racing stuff is you can gain so much time on your own, and same to be said with losing time too. So. It's just a totally different style of racing. It's a totally different form, but, learning it has been pretty neat for me. And, honestly, I think we had a great run going at the Glen too. I think we would have been inside the top 10 there until we, just got kind of into it with a lap car going through the bus stop. But, I was pretty happy with how that one went, and obviously thrilled how Mid-Ohio ended up. But, it's fun throwing these heavy things around a road course.
Matt, years ago at DEI, we would spend a lot of time at VIR and different road courses being able to test. NASCAR has changed our testing policy, but now with technology in the younger group and you kids in your electronics, you now have the option of having simulators and being able to look at programs like the track. Do you spend a lot of time preparing on computer-based applications for these road course races?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's obviously the biggest help we get without being able to test. So, this week I'm going to run the ARCA race too, so that'll help me out. But, the computer stuff is great, whether it's the manufacturer simulator or even just doing iRacing. They're really good. The hard part kind of comes into, you can get away with some stuff on the computer stuff just because you're not in the race car. If you miss a corner in there, you hit the reset button, and obviously you tear up a car if in real life. So, there's slight differences, and you have to be careful of how you're matching up the two of them. But as far as shift points and braking and all that, it matches up pretty well to where it's pretty dang close.
Matt, as we look toward the playoffs coming at us like a freight train there, you're 7th in the standings right now, and one of those guys without a win. Only a couple of regulars, in fact, have wins with Justin Allgaier and William Byron. As we get into the stretch run here, everybody's trying to get that playoff positioning. At a road course like we're headed this weekend, with the stage points, you also have to try and do the math to make sure you do it backwards and you're in position at the end of the race. But do the stages become even more important now in the drive to the playoffs here?
Well, I mean, I think the stages have always been important, but they also don't matter if your finish is terrible. So, I think we've kind of played some of our races to trying to be there, more at the end. But obviously, you want to get as many stage points as you can too. You don't feel comfortable in the spot we're in, but at the same time, we do have a little bit of a cushion, so we can try some things if we need to push strategy to try to get a win. It would have been nice this last weekend at Bristol. We were having a, probably about an 8th place run that night before we had a right retire go down. So you never know when situations are going to happen like that. to where, you know, you can have a great day going and it can kind of ruin your day there. So, you know, just little things like that you have to watch out for. And you know, if we finished where we probably should have this last weekend, you probably have more cushion to be able to make a big strategy call and try to, you know, go with an alternate strategy or do something, a bit different when it comes to the road racing stuff. But, you know, we'll just have to see how it works out. But, you know, typically with the road racing stuff, it's the first guy who pits last. So, you know, without cautions there. So we'll see how it plays out, but I'm excited to get up there. And I used to race late models up in Wisconsin, so it'll be cool to come back to that state.
Matt, one of the things that brought you were able to bring to the forefront of educating a lot of people is your association with braintumor.org. And to start out with, it was an unfortunate thing because you actually had a brain tumor. Obviously, we saw a great night with you and your girlfriend here the other night in Charlotte because chicks dig scars, man. That's really cool. But you also had some really, really good news relative to your newest scan. Talk about how enlightening that was to be able to get positive news from that scan.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, it's a little over a year out now, I guess a year and a month. And, you know, this was about the time last year I was getting prepped to try to get back in a late model to go test somewhere. So Bristol was my press conference last year announcing I was coming back to racing. So pretty neat to be able to go, you know, a year and some change out and get the news that they're, you know, backing up my my checkups and that everything is looking great. So it's obviously great news there. And, you know, they expected to keep on going the way it's going. So, you know, scary experience at first, but it's crazy to me to see how big of a difference a year makes.
Absolutely amazing. Matt, who's going to be on the car this weekend on the 19 at Road America?
So actually, we're pairing up with Dragon Eyewear this weekend. So it'd be really cool to have them out on the car. A little bit different scheme than we've had the rest of this year. So it'd be cool to have them on our Camry. And like I said, we're you know, really excited to have on board, and hopefully we can get our first win with them this weekend.
Fantastic. I don't know if you know this, but Joey does a really good dragon roar. He likes to do it about the tire dragon machine.
Tire dragon. That's it. Yep.
Yeah, maybe you can get him
to hear that.
Yeah. Well, when he started asking you about the simulator, I thought he was about to tell you, hey, get off my lawn or something there, the way that whole question started out. But fantastic the way this season has been going for you, and good health report. Look forward to catching up with you at Road America, Matt. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, man.
There you go. How about that? See, you got your roar in there, and it's perfect. He's got Dragon Eyewear.
Dragon Eyewear.
Yeah.
I very rarely come on the show and brag about sponsors, right? We have a good sponsor at Team Penske, multiple team sponsors. But Matt Tifft and I've never physically, personally met him. Ironic. We talk on Twitter as if we're father and son, right? So one of his sponsors is Tunity. And I'm going to give a shout out to if you have a chance to use the Tunity app.
All right, now tell me what it does.
It's it. So you're sitting in your favorite restaurant or your favorite bar and you're watching TV. They don't have the volume on. You pick up, you open the Tunity app, you point at the TV. Your phone starts playing the volume of the TV.
It knows what show it is.
It's the coolest thing in the world because
you're pretty cool.
It's really cool, and you pick any.
And how much
TV.
does that cost?
It's free.
What?
It's like the Blooming Onion today.
It's free.
It's free.
Wow.
Really, really good app. The technology is fantastic, and I wish we were associated with it just because it's so cool.
You're jealous, aren't you?
I am very jealous, but I get free beer.
Okay, it's a push.
Exactly,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
push. But the Tunity app, and now we got the Dragon Eyewear. I got to get some.
So you can bring those in here and do the roar.
Exactly right.
Fantastic. All right, one more break on Motorsports Monday. When we come back, the moment you've all been waiting for, the debut of Ask Joey.
I'm not blooming good, I'm blooming great. Put a shrimp on the barbie and sizzle my steak. Woo, I want that onion to bloom, and it get in my senses like a sonic boom. No rules, just right. So bold, so nice, and I'm so ready for that Outback steak tonight. Outback Steakhouse, that's what it's all about. Outback Steakhouse, blooming great.
I'm Steve Letarte, STP auto expert and former crew chief. I know what it takes to keep engines performing at their best. STP's latest breakthrough additive, STP Ultra 5-in-1 plus Fuel System Cleaner plus Fuel Stabilizer, delivers 3 times the amount of cleaning agents versus premium gasoline and helps keep fuel fresh during storage. For over 60 years, STP has been on the cutting edge developing products to help engines run better, longer.
One bottle contains 3 times by weight the amount of cleaning agents compared to 20 gallons of the leading premium gasoline.
You're smart, got your own trucking business, making it happen. What if I told you there was a place online where you could connect with other smart owner-operators just like you? It's an online community called Team Run Smart, where people share advice on truck maintenance, fuel savings, healthy habits on the road, and so much more, all to make your business more profitable. And it's all free. Visit teamrunsmart.com today to check it out. You'll be glad you did. teamrunsmart.com, brought to you by Freightliner Trucks.
I'm Eric Jones, and you're listening to MRN Motorsports Monday with Joey Meyer and Woody Kane.
Second place finish.
MRN Motorsports Monday, big week for Eric Jones. That team is getting stronger and stronger as they go along and making the case that that car needs a sponsor to keep running next year.
Well, the car does as well. He's going over to Gibbs, which will be adding on to that 20 car, but a fantastic job by Eric Jones. Again, we get so spoiled expecting these kids to run good with yellow bumpers nowadays, but he's really living up to the hype.
And I asked him, winning the pole, does that mean he's going to keep the mullet a while longer? And he grinned ear to ear and said, well, I guess it is good luck. I might have to keep it.
I actually told Brad, I said, between Blaney and Eric, Brad needs to grow the mullet out because it's really helping them guys. It
wow.
seems like it,
yeah, okay. All right. Well, if you can make that happen, I'd love to know because we'll keep an eye on the length in the back for sure as we go forward. All right. It was actually the debut last week of Ask Joey, where you got to use the Joey Strader about downforce and all. Nice, I thought that was just the debut of the Joey Strader, but it's Ask Joey, a segment where you can send a question in to Two-Spotter and he'll do his best to answer it for you. You can use your camera, your cell phone camera, to video yourself if you'd like, and that's exactly what happened this week. Let's check out this week's question.
John Dykowski, Brownstown, Michigan. When two drivers wreck each other on the track, how do the spotters sort it out?
So there you go.
So what happens is we have really good, we've talked about being on the road 38 races a year, 3 days a weekend. We are closer to some of these guys that we work with on the roof than we are with our own wives. We see them more. So inevitably, your driver and their driver is going to get tangled. I have a very good story. Eddie DeHunt and I are really good friends. We go to dinner with our wives and families. We're staying next to each other at Texas Motor Speedway. Brad drives in the middle of the lane. The side skirts cut down Jeff Gordon's tire.
I remember that was quite the kerfuffle.
Very heated. Yeah. They had a kerfuffle. Exactly
you like
right.
That?
Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski get to it. Eddie and I are sitting there together, just shaking our heads, like watching parents watch kids do something wrong. Because even though we understood the intensity of it, there wasn't any ill will on Eddie and I's part. That's part of the professionalism. Now, on the other side of that spectrum, years ago, we used to spot from the inside of a suite at Texas Motor Speedway.
Really?
Yep, before they allowed us on the roof.
Could you see as well?
Yeah, not as good, but it was interesting because then we actually watched one of the spotters walk down the stairs to the front row and actually club somebody in the side of the head.
No way.
Walk back up as if nothing happened and continue doing the race. And it was the funniest thing in the world.
How long ago was this?
That was about 2006, 7, 5, 6, 7, somewhere. Yeah, so we've had two different versions of that. Now, the two people involved in that skirmish weren't really good friends. But for the most part, now the longevity of our spotters, we are really decent friends. We go to dinner, we hang out, we talk on Twitter. In fact, we had 33 of us this weekend that tried to be millionaires.
I saw that. You didn't
we didn't hit it, but we all tried.
Yeah, but if we had seen you on TV with one of those big cardboard checks, would that have been it?
Yeah.
Pretty much? It's a hard decision. All right, we've got some big racing coming up this weekend at Road America. As we mentioned, the Johnsonville 180 Xfinity Series race is on MRN at 2:30 Sunday afternoon. A Sunday road race in Wisconsin, a huge track. What can we expect?
Man, oh man, man. We saw a lot of tore up stuff a couple weeks ago, and it really puts a lot of pressure on some of these Xfinity teams. I know Junior Motorsports, my nephew Jacob's over there working. A lot of these guys tried to turn those cars around. So they've been working feverishly in the shop to get those road courses turned around. But we also saw really good from like Bobby Dotter's team, the 07. So I'm looking forward to see if a road course ringer style driver can carry one of those cars from the back and get it inside the top 10 and compete. But you're gonna see the Brendan Gauns, the Justin Allgaiers.
Don't forget Justin Marks as well.
Exactly, Justin Marks in the 42 at Ganassi. You're gonna see those guys perform at the level that we just expect to see them. Because just like we said, the days of road course ringers is really minimal now, and those guys have become so good with the advent of simulators and the technology of iRacing. They just have more time behind the wheel than just showing up at these road courses 3 times a year.
All right. Don't forget, head over to Outback. On Monday, it is Bloomin' Monday because Kevin Harvick had a top 10 finish. You can see him right there. We got the picture right after he got the top 10 to give everybody another free onion. And they've brought back now, did you know this? The signature Bloomin' Onion loaded. They've got a loaded Bloomin' Onion now, so go check that out as well.
Called the Heart Attack.
Oh, boy. All right, don't forget, we've got NASCAR Live every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and the Johnsonville 180 Xfinity Series race at Road America comes your way at 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. He's Joey. I'm Woody. We'll see you right back here next Monday for MRN Motorsports Monday.
MRN Motorsports Monday is presented by Outback Steakhouse. Tune in every Monday for another exciting episode right here on MRN.com. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. MRN Motorsports Monday is also available on demand in MRN.com's Media Center, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, and in iTunes or the Google Play Store. MRN Motorsports Monday is a production of the Motor Racing Network.